All right, go ahead.
Hi, welcome to another episode of Push. We're here today with TJK. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
Not too bad. So, you started out wrestling how long ago?
Oh, I started out wrestling officially 3 years ago, but I did start in 2018 when I was still 17 years old.
Ah.
So I've been in the game for a little while, just not as long as most people think.
And then you trained with Sean Tyler at New Edge Wrestling Academy.
Yes.
Who were some of your classmates then?
Oh, some of my classmates. We got August Albright. We have Adina Jade, the Phoenix. Austin Travis, who just recently came back. And God, I missed him.
He had a leg injury.
Pretty
serious.
I barely get to see my classmates a lot, but when I do, it is a joy. I love it. I love it so much. Just reminds me of the good old days before me and Sean started killing each other. That's for sure. We started beating each other to all holy hell around here. So, yeah.
So what is it like to wrestle your mentor?
It's definitely one of those things where it's like, do you feel like you're ready for this? And it's like, every time I do feel like I'm ready, it's like, it doesn't go the way I expected. But it's like you're also still learning in a way. It's really a weird combination. Because actually, one of the first people I met in wrestling that actually like gave me the time of day was actually Sean Tyler. Okay. So when I went to New Edge, and I found out, oh, he's training people. Is he training people to do like death matches and shit like that? Like, I want to be a part of this. I went for it. And he was one of those guys like Chuck Stein even that I wanted to go up against. So I was like, well, I'm going to learn all your tricks. Spoiler alert, I didn't. So, yeah.
But you got like another 17, minimum 17 years to catch up.
Yeah, we're getting there, but I'm wising up a little bit faster than everybody thinks. So, I love it. I love violence, and I have the right mentor to teach me how to go about being violent in the safest ways possible without cops getting involved and trying to arrest me, that is.
It's legal violence.
It's legal violence. It's the purge, man. It's all crime is legal.
So you primarily wanted to be a deathmatch wrestler, huh?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I grew up old VHS tapes, watching everybody like New Jack jumping off of high things, the Dudleys power bombing people through flaming tables, Cactus Jack doing Cactus Jack things like that. That is like the one thing that I wish my dad never showed me, because it was by far the coolest thing that a 5-year-old could watch and be like, yeah, if I could do this, I would. And then I found out I could do this. So, all we're missing is the flaming table now.
Yeah. Well, you already answered my next question, I suppose. Who introduced you to wrestling?
Oh, yeah.
That was your dad, huh?
That was definitely my father. My father was the one person that was like the encyclopedia of like 90s and 80s wrestling. Like, he even went as far like back in the day, because I know there's probably some young people watching this. Yes, there was these little these tapes that you put into a VCR, and it played stuff back. And honestly, if you didn't rewind them before you took them back to Blockbuster, you were an asshole. So anyway, we would watch those all the time. Okay. And he always like had them like just in a box. And when he had them in a box, we had a ECW box, a WCW box, and then a WWF box as well. So it was like, my favorites was obviously ECW. Yeah. So then I would go and watch just all of the craziest stuff that happened in ECW before, WWE got it and, wasn't the same anymore.
Yeah, definitely in the 80s, it was a lot harder to come across content unless you watched it specifically when it was playing on TV.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had box fulls of 80s, 90s VHSs.
Oh, yeah.
Even though I was watching like Superstars, Wrestling Channel, Monday night or primetime wrestling, I was still recording it so I could watch it back.
That's one of those things where it's like, we have easy access to everything now.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But it's like, I'm one of those like those kids that should not know about this, that knows about this, because that's all we had. Yeah. So like anytime I was like, man, I want to watch this. Hey, Dad, go in the closet, dust out the box, and grab this specific pay-per-view so we can watch it again. Easy access nowadays. Y'all don't know it.
Oh, yeah. So I know this question you've answered on Facebook going around, but where would you be without pro wrestling?
Oh, man. I don't know. I honestly don't know. That's one of those things where I hate being very grim about it. But wrestling realistically has saved my life in like 2 different occasions. And, you know, in those times where like I was really having it rough, you know, the first thing I did was like, I didn't know what was going to happen, you know, because, you know, life happens.
Yeah, it sure does.
And I went to a Horror Slam show, and it was still like somewhere where like I could ride my bike to, because, you know, I'm still like a kid at this point. And I went there and I met a very interesting person. And I stayed around, I cleaned up, because I sat there and I thought to myself, maybe this might be the last time I come to a wrestling show. And you won't believe who came up to me, said thank you, and actually talked me into my senses. Fun fact, Nick Gage is one of the biggest reasons why TJK is not only still alive, but still here doing this. And Nick Gage told me right then and there, get to a point in your career where you can finally face me, and that's my thank you.
Okay.
And then the second time was me going to New Edge, and I went back into training, because when I came into training for the second time, I came in injured. I had a herniated disc in my L5, and the doctors told me that either you're going to stand up one day and it's either going to paralyze you or it's going to fix. And I said, well, Doc, would you be mad at me if I went and tried to wrestle? And he was like, what? I was like, listen, if at any point in my life where I felt uncertain about something, this is one of those things where I feel the strongest that this might work out in. Could I do it? Well, I don't recommend it, but go for it.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe one of those bumps would have knocked everything back into place.
And actually, that's exactly what happened. Because fun fact, body slams suck.
Yeah.
And when I got body slammed, when we were learning how to body slam, I got slammed improperly, and my disc popped completely out of my spine. It was just sticking out, and everybody sat there and was like, well, you should probably go to the hospital. I said, no, because I can still move my toes, I can still move my legs. Quite frankly, do it again. So Sean Tyler, being the psychopath that he is, he's like, you know what? He ain't lying about that one. Do it again.
Old school mentality there.
Yeah, because I knew what I was setting myself up for. So he gave the okay to let me stay, and let's do it again. And when I tell you that when I got slammed that second time, and all I could feel was like no more pain, no more numbness in my legs. And I first time in my life, by the way, because I am not the most athletic person. I try to be. I am not. I am out of shape, and I'm skinny. I kicked up for the first time in my life. And I was like, holy shit, I can walk properly again. That was like the sign that this is where you need to be at. If the first one wasn't, definitely the second one is why I am here right now. And I love every second of it, because at any point that could go away. So every match I always give it my all. That is why everybody sees me do the craziest, outlandish, goofiest things, because one day I'm not going to have that anymore. But that is why I do this, for the love of the game. Because I'm a psychopath.
So, how far off you think you are from having a match with Nick Gage?
I don't think too far. I don't think too far. I've made some strides in the deathmatch community. Like, my first official one was actually at Horror Slam, believe it or not. And I met a very awesome soul named JB Anderson. And JB was so helpful of ushering me into this, that, you know, I was able to finally work a deathmatch with Chuck Stein. And
okay, that's pretty impressive.
Oh, absolutely. I was like, that's all I wanted. That's one of the goals. You know, I was noticed by guys like Satu Jin, Mickey Knuckles, JJ Escobar. I've even had Tommy Trainwreck be like, hey, you know, if you want to work with me, let's do it. You know, come out to, you know, WLW. I've even had Hoodfoot say, hey, I want you. So I was like, all right, cool. Kamikaze, who just came back into the deathmatch scene, He wanted to work with me before he retired and inevitably came back because I told him he was coming back. Yeah, like I've had some people say that they wanted to work with me, and I'm so for it. Some people say I'm not ready for it. I say I'm pretty ready. If I can use a pizza cutter and carve up a man in Grand Rapids in front of a bunch of children and they cheered me for it, I am ready for it. Just saying.
So who, let's say top 5 deathmatch people you want to face?
Well, God rest his soul. I wish Terry Funk was still here. Terry Funk was one of them.
The fact he made it so far, I mean, is impressive in itself.
That's why I was
in 5 different decades, was it?
Yeah. That's why I was like, he wouldn't have turned it down. Yeah. Who's another one? MM3. MM3 was actually one of the people that said that he would work with me since like 2014. I remember this. It hasn't happened yet, but working on that because when it happens, it's going to be glorious. Another one that like I would really love to. I already know I'm going to lose, and I don't care. Shane Mercer. I am so down to get shucked into the crowd and come back and just fight some more. I love that. I love Shane. He's an awesome dude too. I would say Lil Sicko. Lil Sicko is another one because at the end of the day, I'm also a clown. Once the face paint comes on, I am now the clown prince of chaos. So, like, yeah, I would love to throw down with a fellow clown. And I would say my last one. That one's gonna be kind of a mystery because there's so many of them that I like feel like I would like to work with. But the biggest one, if he would be down to do it, would be Jon Moxley. I would love to either work with him or Sami Callihan. They are fucking something else. And thinking about all the things that John does in AEW, I was kind of like, I don't see this happening, but you can never say never in professional wrestling.
Oh, he also pops up in indie events every now and then.
Oh, absolutely. And that's why I was like, if he just one time, if I have the opportunity to just go to GCW and Mox decides to show up, man, that's going to be awesome because I want this to happen. Jon Moxley is up there with just everybody, but he's one of the tops.
Just waiting for him to walk in the frame. No, don't stop him. It happens every time. I saw him right out of the corner. I'm like, he doesn't see it.
I'm waiting. I was waiting for him to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the manager who also kept me in the game, by the way. Come here. You might as well walk in.
I mean, I'm here.
Yeah, you here now. Here, let me switch over.
I wear glasses. Sometimes I can't see. So.
But it's like last month I was sitting here with Sean and guy just walks right in. I'm like, I'm not even mad because it happens so often. People just doesn't see that.
Look, sometimes
like unless there's a big rigging there with bright lights, it's invisible.
What's crazy too is that it's even better because I'm telling you right now, this is one of the biggest pieces of why TJK is who he is. Because at the end of the day, you can't sit at a show before someone starts training, before someone's even cleared with a broken back, and sit there and be like, hey, listen, I got this thing called the Golden Empire. And I feel like you would be one of those guys that would get this off the ground. And that's what we did. And as soon as someone gave us that shot, guess what? 2 matches in, we won gold. Told y'all. That's what we do.
And that was the vision all along. And I knew there was a certain it factor that you had that I felt was going to be golden. So I decided, let me try to bring him in so that way the Golden Empire can get all the gold.
Yes, sir.
You can get all the gold.
Yes, sir.
And you proved me right every step of the way.
Yep. By the way, 2 matches in somewhere, 1 trios titles. F you for us wrestling.
Yeah, that's right. You and what was 24K?
Yep. Hey, even better, inaugural Elevation champion. No one can take that away. Nobody can take that away. So, and by the way, too, I wasn't even the only one that got an inaugural title either. H5 got an inaugural title. 24K ended up having an inaugural title. And didn't Zenith end up having an inaugural title too?
She did, but not only that, she was outside fighting Krishan Rock out in Philly.
Yeah.
With the Golden Empire, things happen. Things can change. And TJK is proof of that.
Just a Dr. Pepper and a barbed wire strike away.
I mean, obviously, you're not the biggest guy, but you definitely fight hardest out there. I mean, you're not going to do a lot of fancy shit. I mean, it's like an old school mentality. You leave your feet, okay, that's more amazing than seeing you just throw fists with like Sean Tyler or.
Oh yeah. No, that's one of those things where it's like, that's where all those VHS tapes come back to play. So. You know, I was always
grew up
like
watching it. And that's what can stick with you when you're actually doing it.
And I knew that coming in that I was going to be smaller than everybody else. That's why I kind of prioritize being more of as Truth Martini put it, you want to be an angry squirrel. And I was like, you're right. You're right. So I prioritize more of technician, brawler, and sometimes high flying. Because if you do too much high flying, you're going to get swatted out of the air.
Yeah, exactly.
And, you know, somebody like Big Dom. Somebody that... Like
you don't want to be caught by Big Dom.
He's a skyscraper compared to me. So, easily, like a gnat, get down. Like, nah. You can't do that all the time. But if you know how to take a big guy down, you know how to go for the legs, you know how to go for the head, you know how to take a weak spot, you know when they make a mistake. What are you going to do then?
Oh, yeah. It's like when Rowdy Piper wrestled Andre the Giant. He just a lot of choking, jumping on his back. It's like, why are you doing that? It's like, how else am I supposed to handle someone this large?
How am I going to do this?
I got to do it the way I know.
Look, and if I was a little bit more drunk, I would probably try to barehand you. But even then, drunk me is just going to be like, nah, you too big for me, bro. I got some common sense. There's just sometimes not that common.
Might get away with it with someone like Scott Atlas, though.
No. You know what?
He's big, but he ain't no Dom.
You know what? After all the stuff they've been pulling out here at Lethal, bro, I ain't gonna lie. Don't be surprised if I just take a crowbar right to his kneecap. I ain't gonna lie. Because like, he big, but like, he big. Like,
probably be the biggest pop all year.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the best spot, too, the kneecaps.
Right, the kneecaps every single time. I know my stuff. I was a streets kid. Been in a lot of fights. Big dudes, small dudes, everybody. That's one of those things.
Camera.
That's one of those things where it's like, you have to know how to beat your opponent before you even start fighting. And sometimes, I ain't gonna win. But, hey, 24. Speaking of Golden Empire, one of the OGs, one of the big dogs,
What up?
one of the big dogs, we got the crew here. The only person we missing is H5.
Where you at, man?
Man, we miss you, bro. We miss you, bro. Come on, man. Just come out to Grand Rapids, bro.
Look. We got little one,
Oh, I know. Listen. Fun fact: we're making the Golden Empire bigger in the wildest ways possible. But just understand that when we all finally retire or die or something, that the next generation of gold will happen, and it's gonna be way sweeter than what we had. And ours was already sweet enough. Y'all know what I mean?
I'm saying, boy, y'all already know what's going on with the Golden Empire. We rising to the top in every single way imaginable, dog. Expanding, we growing, developing. Y'all gonna recognize, realize, and remember the Golden Empire for life.
Speaking of growing, this would be another perfect opportunity to let the world know that we go by a new moniker. You know, because
we gotta make some changes.
It's a birth of a new nation, because we are now the Golden Nation, and we're taking the gold from everywhere.
Yep. And just letting y'all know, sometimes we gotta be on demon time. We ain't gonna lie about that. We were kind of slacking in the last year, but I want y'all to think about one thing in the last year that has happened. Inaugural Elevation Champion, current all-class World Heavyweight Champion, H5, going over to Canada, getting noticed by people, and guess what? He still got his world title too. And we just gonna keep growing. But guess what? Sometimes we have to put people on game, and sometimes we got to change it up. So just expect the unexpected is all I'm going to give you. But keep an eye out. Keep an eye out. Because there's going to be some videos that y'all going to need to pay attention to. And we going to explain it. You just got to keep up. Keep up.
Well, I think this would be a good time to bring this to an end. I see more people walking around, and
I'm ready for a nap.
yeah, you ready for a nap? All right.
Yeah. I got my Dr.
Long night,
Pepper.
bro. I won a Sweet Daddy Cup last night, bro. 2026.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm gonna cash in, take the XICW.
Yep. You already know. You already know.
It's time for me to take a nap, dog. Love you, boy.
Love you, bro.
It's good seeing
Yeah.
you. Dog. I miss you, baby.
We'll let you two. You know, I'm going with you. We'll let you two finish this one.
Yeah.
Hey,
You
let the
know.
world know it's good me. You said sorry to barge in. Like,
Oh, no, you good. You good.
I mean, it makes for more interesting visually. It's like, well, suddenly got a bunch of people here.
Yeah, we got a lot of people here, but you know what? That's fine. That's fine. You got to come out and see me beat up some cops tonight, all right? We like breaking the law around here. At least I do. I don't know about everybody else.
All right, well, thank you for joining me. I'll catch your match later.
Absolutely, man. Thank you for having me. Oh, God. Oh, God. I got to get it off. There we go.
That's awesome, man.
Awesome.
Okay.
Hey, they were just right there.